Say that again. Wicked. And thanks again for joining us on Vacation Station TV. Where are we now, you're saying? Well, look over my shoulder, right between Marie and I, because we are at the Townsend Heritage Center. This is really a cool place, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to giving you a tour of the Heritage Center right here in beautiful Townsend, Tennessee. So don't go anywhere. And we continue our walk. And I continue to give you the tour with Marie and I, enjoying our day here at the Townsend Heritage Center. A little squirrely up there. I don't know if you see him crossing over. Here's an old feed barn. This is where you would put your feed, and some of your, this would be probably for feed and or hay, but probably more feed. It's the Long Cavalier Barn. I'm sorry, it's a cantilever, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Cantilever barn.
Cantilever barn. It's new to me, don't know it. Donated by the Heritage Center by Howard and Kathy Long in memory of Howard's great-grandfather, Isaac Long. Isaac, a farmer, was one of the oldest residents in Loudoun County and a Civil War veteran. He was also elected to represent the Unisha district in the Loudoun County Court. Isaac purchased the Long family farm from the fellow heirs for $275. That was in 1862, after the death of his father, John Long. He and his wife, Nancy Waddle, raised their 7 children on the farm. The barn, thought to have been built around 1886, is in excellent condition because the perimeter had been enclosed to provide more space for storage and animals. And there is a picture of the family. Very cool. It's hard to believe this was built around, they think around 1886, and it's still in really nice condition. I mean, the wood it's dried, of course, and it's aged. It's tempered properly, but it's just really sweet to look at. Hey, these are nice. Look how nicely dressed. Look how perfect you guys look. Very cool. Very good. What is it, an anniversary? Is it something
it's
special?
It's our 40th anniversary.
We just had one with a 25th anniversary.
We honeymooned here 40 years ago, so we decided we had to come back. We live in Houston, Texas now.
And you came all the way back here?
To the
Absolutely.
Smokies.
Oh, that is so sweet. You see? They have an anniversary. How long?
I've never been here to this center.
Have you been here before?
No, we
No,
have
not to this
Isn't this
location.
great?
It's fascinating.
It's
I just love the history.
It's all
and
around.
the archaeology, to see the Native American presence here, what, 12,000 years ago?
12,000 years
Yeah.
ago. People, it's just as generation goes by, just more people take over the same property.
Right.
And people forget that where they live, someone else lived there too.
Of course, it's a great place to live now because it was then.
It was then.
Right.
What's not to like
Right.
about this?
Right.
Are you up here for?
beauty and the people.
Oh, the mountains are just
Yeah,
gorgeous.
and the
aren't
people
they?
are
This
so
you don't have in
friendly.
Houston, Texas.
I know we don't.
There isn't much of a mountain in Houston. You have to go to the mountains out of the way there.
Yeah,
right?
it's West Texas.
West
so
Texas,
New
right.
Mexico,
New
Colorado.
Mexico. I don't want to go all that way.
No.
I'm right here. I'm in the mountains. I'm in the
can.
mountains.
That's right.
What else are you going to do?
We're actually on our way back to
Yep.
the
Oh.
airport.
We've stayed in the
Nashville
cabin
Airport.
about
Good
out
for
of
you.
Pigeon Forge up in the mountains with a beautiful view, which is, again, where we honeymooned 40 years ago. The cabin we were originally in is no longer
And you two
there.
look like you're in love again. That's how many years?
40 years. 4
How do you
children
do it?
and 6 grandchildren.
Oh, God bless you.
Do it
Yep.
through, God's
You've been good to you.
marriage.
Guy.
Yeah.
How many grandkids?
6, soon 7.
Soon 7.
And
Which
only
one?
2
Which one of your kids is going to be having a new baby?
Our oldest.
Your oldest.
Daughter and 3
Congratulations.
sons.
Who do you want to shout out to?
I want to shout out to everybody. This is just a beautiful place to come see it. But to our kids, you wouldn't be here if we weren't here 40 years ago. So.
Oh, the final slap in the face from Dad. You wouldn't be here. Mom and I didn't come here. That's a great one. I love you for that.
You bet.
Yeah, you wouldn't. If you guys didn't meet up and you didn't have your honeymoon here, the first one wouldn't have been here. And don't you ever forget that.
That's right.
Once in a while, call your mom and dad. The phone works both ways. That's what my mother used to tell me.
Yeah,
Was it
that's
doesn't
right.
work your way? Doesn't.
Right.
No, it's much easier to use them these days. too,
Yeah, it
than
is. There's
40
no,
years ago.
like, oh, I can't find a phone. Nonsense. It's in your pocket.
Right.
You know it is. In fact, you're looking at it right now.
Right.
I know
and
you
I'm
are.
paying for it because I have the right to contact you and you me at any time.
You know my dad?
Yeah, right.
He used to tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you make me happy. The two of you look like in so much love. I love it very much. Enjoy your trip back, a safe trip back, and always come here.
We were afraid with everything going on this year we wouldn't be able to make it, but it's been a great trip.
It's been
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
All bad things pass.
That's right.
Even God
We'll
can't
keep
make
our
a
mask
storm last forever,
That's right.
right?
But he's going to test
We'll
us.
get through
Of course.
it and we'll be
You
better
bet.
for
You
it.
have to be tested. If you're not tested, you don't know if you're worth.
Yeah.
Right? I
That's
mean,
right.
if everything was
You're not
easy.
growing and changing.
Exactly. Change is growth. And if you don't do it, then you're stagnant and you become like the moss on a stone. Not
Yeah,
good.
That's right.
Sure.
I enjoyed talking with you guys.
Thank you very
Very
much.
good. Have a safe journey. Happy anniversary to both
Thank
of
you
you.
very much.
And you're on Vacation Station TV.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Bye.
Fair. There's, they have the signs up there. 31 and a quarter cents for the coach. And breakfast and half a bed. Who gets the other half of the bed? 25 cents for local or traveler breakfast. 12 and a half cents for half a bed. So I guess you had to share a bed. No. Jeff doesn't share a bed but with his wife. That's it. Oh, this is just gorgeous. And the camera should pick it up. I've got it on really. It's sucking up. It's sucking up memory as we speak. Now you can see, can you see the light through the wood? And that's how it was. I mean, sure, you could fill it in, and maybe they did as best as they could, but that's, if you decide to buy a cabin, that's the kind of stuff you got to deal with. And you could see through the rocks, you know, and you'd constantly be stuffing chink into the rocks and the walls. They have such beautiful fireplaces, beautiful hearths. It's just stunning. It was the center of the home. It's where the heat was, and I told you that earlier, but I just want to remind you, the center of the home. It's where you cooked, where the heat was, where people gathered, because up here in the Smoky Mountains, it gets cold during the winter months. This would have been a cabinet, a very basic cabinet. There probably would have been, with the way this is, something to cover it. Really nice. Just, I know you're looking at my video, but when you're in here, you can feel the life that was in this cabin. Think of the hundreds, if not thousands of people that passed through here and stayed here for, 25 cents or 12 and a half cents for a night in a bed. Here's what I was talking to you about. Early Tennessee rope bed. 1840, rope bed was made locally. Early feather ticks mattresses were placed on the ropes. The ropes had to be tightened periodically to keep the mattress from sagging, or the sleeper would find themselves on the floor. To tighten the ropes, a large wooden key or a wrench was used. A reproduction key can be seen on the right side of the bed's footboard, right there. I'm going to take the camera and tilt it down. Right there. This is how you tightened the bed ropes. And that's where they got sleep tight from. Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. It's where this comes from, that time. You can actually see, here's the ropes right here, and you would snug this up, and it would pull the bed tighter, so you had a firmer bed to sleep on. And for those of you that like nice bathrooms, there is a 5-star hotel toilet right there. There's a 5-star hotel toilet. That's it. That's it. Right next to the bed. There, bed, you, toilet. That's it. And of course, if you had children, the adults would sleep here. I want to show you, because they'll show, I want to show you the rope bed. There it is, see? Oh, that's cool. Here, there's the rope. So you can see how a mattress would have been. That's it. And probably very uncomfortable. I'm sure it's not Posturepedic, that's for sure. And here's a bed underneath. This slides out. This comes out. It's child size, so your children would sleep under the bed. And of course, the drying of herbs and spices. Picture of a nice man. Proud, stoic man. This one, Montville Station, is where this building was, built in 1830 by Dan Fout. Dan Fout, Montvale. The station was used as a post office, serving 8 families in the Montvale area, and a stagecoach stop for Montvale Springs Resort. Didn't know there was a resort up here. The cabin was believed to also have been used as an inn, while travelers could stop for meals and lodging. There have been many stories reporting that it was used as a hiding place for Confederate troops during the Civil War. There's some great history there. Early inns provided travelers with the basic needs, food and lodging. And a few women traveled by stagecoach due to the primitive conditions of the roads and lodging. So men were primary guests in the inn. And in the late 1830s, a traveler paid 12.5 cents for half a bed. Beds and bed bugs were often shared by strangers. Yuck. The tavern's simple menu with prices of the food was posted for all to see. The inn was the gathering place of the community where news from travelers was shared with all. And here would have been the upstairs, which we're not allowed to go up, but you can see there's stairs here, go up, and that would be further lodging for these people. Isn't this a cool cabin? Mm-hmm. Isn't this cool? Remember I told you about, and I'll just repeat it for the people, the sleep tight?
Yes.
Here's the, let me put this down, there's the rope.
Oh.
And there's the key, that wooden thing on the floor there to tighten it up, and there's your bathroom right there. That's it.
They dump it every morning.
You dump it every morning. You squat down in that. I mean, you maybe go outside, but back then, you know, people knew what you had to do. What you got to do. It's not about I need a 5-star hotel with marble and granite. No, there's your bathroom right there. Have fun. Knock yourself out. So pretty in here. Though. Isn't that gorgeous? That fireplace.
I bet the people that have it built have money when you have a stone brick.
It takes a lot of work, and you got to know what you're doing there. I mean, that thing is placed beautifully.
What do you call it? Not a stone brick.
It's stone. It's stone from Tennessee. It's stuff you find in the river rock. And you just pile them up, and it takes an art because it's really straight, and the arching, and that's really a treat to look at. It's a great place to come, folks. And I know the kids want to go on flume rides and the kids want to go on death-defying things, but this is history. This is education. Yeah, thank you. Educational history, and it's good for you. It's good to learn where people came from and how they lived.
This is nice.
That would have been for cooking large stuff or stripping pork, the hair off pork. You would take the pieces and you boil them out. Yeah. Look at the distance from log to log. And this you would have had to really put a lot of chink in here. This is because these are, I mean, here it is. This is from the 1830s. This thing is still standing and still solid. This is solid. Is your home going to last for 200-300 years? I tend to doubt it. Now, we live in a log cabin, so we're okay. Ours is going to last a long time. But there, look how it is. They're dovetailed. It's just so cool. Hello, ladies. Isn't this a great place? Yes. True history here. This is a great place. Where you from?
From Kentucky.
You're from Kentucky, so this is normal for you to see this type of stuff. You're on Vacation Station TV,
Yes.
by the way.
Oh,
Yes, so this is a great place. I know Kentucky has a lot of historic places. And what brought you up here?
just vacation.
Very good.
But I said, I'm from Illinois, and like the separator there, some of these things I can remember from our farm.
Oh,
That's
you're
where I
just
grew
a
up
spring
on.
chicken girl. You're 29 years old. Have
But
fun
it's
while
great.
you're here, dear.
Thank you.
Isn't it great? Do you feel it? I feel it here. There's a
It's nice.
familyness here.
That's right.
There's something so nice here. And that's I encourage people, and you should encourage your grandchildren too. This is where they should be taken, not to the flume rides all the time. Do the flume rides, but come here and share what life was about.
Right.
You probably
A lot of
remember rough
information
times.
in here, yes.
Yes, we buy season pass here all the time. We just because we like to support them. But I bet you remember a lot of this stuff because my mom did. She remembered
Yeah, that's
struggling.
it.
You know, so you could relate. Times have gotten easy for all of us, haven't
They
they?
have, certainly have.
Enjoy your stay here.
You enjoy.
Thank you. Got to find where my wife has wandered off to. Where did she go? She's off gallivanting. This is so sweet here, folks. You can sit here. There's a little table, benches for you to sit down. You can have your lunch here. Especially if you get, and I highly suggest getting a season's pass. We do, and we just renewed ours. And it's nice because we can just come here and you can sit right here. Look, I mean, we do. People do it all the time. We do. You sit here, you bring your lunch with you, and you just enjoy and soak up this atmosphere. And just be quiet for 1 second, which is really hard for me to do, but listen. It's just quiet. It's not traffic. It's not tourists. It's just quiet. Great place to reflect and just sit back and enjoy and let some of that bad energy out of your body. Going into now, I'm assuming this is a church. Yes, it is.
1910.
This church is from 1910. A simple church, and that's what they were.
And these are the people, Reverend
Oh, cool.
Andy Wire.
Reverend Andy and Mrs. Weir. About 1900, the Reverend Weir pastored Wheelders Church, located near Sevierville. And Mrs. Weir died in 1927 and was preceded by Reverend Weir. And here they are. Probably very good people. And thank the fine folks here. This church was placed here in memory of Ray Robinson, 1934 to 2009, minister of gospel, proclaimer of good news, and a friend of many. Thank you for that. You can hear it's haunted. Yes, it is. And you knew. You came here on Sunday, this was going to be fire and brimstone here. Yeah. You were going to be taught the book, the good book here. Beautiful. Look at the old organ. Oh man, look at that. Just look how nicely laid out this place is. Oh, check that out. I didn't see that. Here's this would have been for animals. It's where they would move them on in, and this is where they would stay. The old hinges, look at that. Made out of wood. This is wood, hole drilled. And this is the door they would have. This is it. And it looks pretty original too. This would have been for the oxen. Made of wood, always hand carved. Go around their neck. And then they do the bidding of the master. Look at that machine. That's great. Boy, it'd be nice somebody restored that and got that cranking. But you can see it's clearly steam with the way it's riveted. You can see the way it's riveted. That's meant for high pressure. This would have been the steam valves. There's where the pressure, you would see the water rising. You'd know when it was at the proper time. And this would have been for usually grinding up whatever it is they needed grinding. They needed grist or they needed corn ground for the animals. This would, you'd pour it in. The machine, this would be the lever. This would engage the machine. Oh, it actually still moves. Look at that. It still moves. This would engage it. This would turn around, and it's hard to see, but there's little grinding wheels in there. And this is the belt that moved it. This belt moved along this wheel here. This would turn around, make a lot of noise, because here's where the exhaust would be here, so it would be going chug 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 chug. I've seen them work before, that's how I know that. Here's a more primitive one. This would also, don't know what this would be for corn or not, but it would, whatever is ground up would come out here, and the chaff, the excess would be drawn out. Could be for wheat, but this is also where that belt, they could hook the belt. This belt would have been, all this would have been nearby. This one's stationary. This belt can be moved when the pressure is taken off, and then moved to here, slide on over here, and then this would turn, making this go up and down, choo 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 choo, like that, and then do the work that needed to be done. This would have been, this would be a hand crank one. Grand Rapids. Don't say what it is, but you would put whatever it is in there, and this would turn around and pull chaff. It would, or clear out corn husking. Probably this is for corn. And you can see it's all hand done. I mean, it's all blacksmith done. How cool is that? Here's another look at this machine. So that whatever it is they had here would come out here and then go through this, and the chaff, the excess, the shuck, would go through the holes, and the good stuff would be caught at the bottom, where come out here somewhere, and there'd be a tray. Tray's obviously missing, but that's okay. Here's more look at the barn. So cool. And you can see the intricacy of the wood cutting and the dowels. The wooden dowels would be for a door that would slide in, or a window. Probably to keep the animals from being near each other. But just look at the thickness of these logs. These logs, there was no machine to do this. Most of them were done by hand for many, many years. Then along came the plane, and you could do that. You could use a machine to run it through, but you could clearly see. If you, yeah, you can see this very clearly. This is where the axe that they would use, you would hit it like that in this angle, because you can see right where the blade goes in, right there. So it would go in and chip and chip and chip, and you'd stand over the log, you'd straddle the log, and you'd do, and you do this till finally you got a piece of wood that it would function in this spot, and then many men and oxen would lift these things into place. There's so much history here. You can feel it. Here's a sharpening stone, a tool. This is it. I use an electric one, but this is a stone that would have been, you could purchase them or you can make them. Oh, it's a very hard stone, and in it is square so that it doesn't spin, and the wooden dowel would be here, and you put your blade here and you'd spin this stone. Very primitive, but it worked, and that's how that worked. Very cool. Very, very cool. This is why I love these places, because it makes you appreciate what you got, or at least I hope it does. You may live in a fine house, you know, or like ourselves, we live in a really nice cabin, or you live wherever it is you live, but this is how they lived, and it was rough. It was hard work. No, I don't want to do it. No, Jeff doesn't want to do it. I guess I would have had to if I lived during these days, of course. Look how cool this place is. This is in Townsend. And if you're in Sevierville or Pigeon Forge, you're just minutes away from this. Now this would have been a great addition to the rod run right here, the Chevrolet 3100. In fact, I saw a couple of 3100s. There was an orange one there. And this one, this is an original. It's sitting right here, just being part of the scenery, being part of what history was here at the Heritage Center in Townsend. Another
It's donated by
John Marion Alton, 1908 to 1993. Southern Appalachian members of the Alton and Denny family supplement their income with the production of the sale of corn mash, corn mash liquor from stills similar to ones on display here. So they were selling moonshine. This guy was a moonshiner. And this is the offspring. You had to do what you had to do in those days. You know, you had to moonshine. Because it wasn't, you know, it was during the Depression, so people had to make money, had to survive, had to feed their families. Sometimes you got to bend the rules, folks.
wow.
This would have been a very large operation that would have been not necessarily out in the wild. This one here, a lot of this stuff may have been, but this is a big trough for doing the corn mash. That moonshine is important, a very integral ingredient. Mash sticks, and there's an old still. That would have pumped out a lot of liquor there. Oh man, this is great. And the bottles, of course, they would use old, any bottle they could get. It could be a mason jar, it could be vinegar or whatever it is, but it had liquor in it.
Yeah,
There's no
you're
doubt.
right. Because William still
Mm-hmm.
during the Depression.
Yeah, I know this stuff. My family understood this stuff. Let's just put it that way.
Built in 1960.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a best kept secret.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, one thing that you didn't do up here is you didn't tell. You didn't tell anybody, especially the revenuers, which were the federales. You know, you didn't tell anybody where the moonshine still is, or your moonshine wouldn't get to you. So it was a good secret, and people got their liquor. That's what they, where the hoedown and the hootenannies are from. Yeah. I mean, look how many people we met while we were here. They're from all over the United States, and two of the people were celebrating their anniversary. Mm-hmm. One of them, 40 years ago, did their honeymoon right here. Right here. That's so romantic, isn't it? Just makes you feel good. I think I'm going to openly weep now. I'll break away. I'm going to cry like a schoolgirl for a few minutes. Honey, do you want to see me cry like a schoolgirl? Huh? No. So what did you think? You had a good time here today?
Mm-hmm.
It's really a neat place to be. And I suggest that all of you come out here. You know, if you live in this area and you haven't been here, you're missing a really cool place to go for a day. You can spend easily 2 to 3 hours of comfortable walking outside. The mountains are all around us.
Yes, relaxing, especially in the fall. You're surrounded by mountains and looking at this
Beautiful scenery and all of these beautiful homes, and it's just in Townsend. So if you're in Pigeon Forge, it's a few minutes away. If you're in Sevierville, it's about 20 minutes away. If you're in Gatlinburg, maybe a half hour. But all points lead to 321 here.
Yes,
and
don't forget to stop by at Townsend.
Yes, the Townsend Visitor Center it's free up at the Visitor Center. You go there, you get all the information you need, and you come on over here, which is roughly 3/4 of a mile down the road, and you have a whole day of fun right here in Townsend.
Townsend Heritage Center.
Very good, and thank you for joining us here today on Vacation Station TV. Hopefully we brought you an informative, fun little tour of this wonderful place, and we highly suggest you come out to the Townsend Heritage Museum and Center. Lots to do for you and the whole family, and we will be doing it again on Vacation Station TV. Don't forget to join us Sundays from 7 to 9 live, and we'll have a lot of fun there. See you all very soon.